Pull up a chair and get comfortable. It's time to talk about your federal benefits. Federal Employee Benefit Coordinators presents the FEBC Podcast with Elizabeth Inman and Brian Fentress.
Hello. Elizabeth Inman here over at Federal Employee Benefit Coordinators, and we are wrapping up our TSP episodes, part 5, on how to become a TSP millionaire. If you missed the prior 4 parts of this 5-part series, the links are in the description. You don't want to miss out. Go back and review those. Great information. But I got to get moving because I'm going to cover oh my goodness, am I going to cover a lot of information for you today. First of all, let's just start right off. I've got 3 documents here in front of me that is available for free off of our website, FEBCnow.com. The TSP Millionaire, every federal and postal employee in America needs this book. Everyone. And not only that, but our military needs this book. Anybody that has access to and the ability to utilize TSP needs the TSP Millionaire book. I've got a whole segment on that. One of the parts that we've already filmed talks about the TSP Millionaire book. Today I'm going to talk about the TSP Risk Guard Executive Summary. I'm going to talk about that one, and then in episode 4, we covered the 6 keys to understanding the new TSP mutual fund window. These are must-have documents for anybody that has funds in TSP, and they're free of charge, totally free. Go to our website, www.febcnow.com. Okay, now I got to get with this because I have a very short period of time to cover a lot of information. So here at Federal Employee Benefit Coordinators, we have a proprietary process that we can actually help you with your TSP right inside of your TSP. We're not out there trying to talk people into just move your TSP, let us take your TSP, we're going to move your TSP out of the TSP. We can help you right where you're at. So if you're a brand new federal or postal employee, there is no better time than now for you to reach out to us, get a free one-on-one consultation, and find out what the best way for you to go about your TSP is so that you can position yourself to be a TSP millionaire one of these days. And the way that we do that is through the TSP Risk Guard process. And I want to talk about that. When we go into your TSP, we're not able to access your money. We cannot withdraw funds. It's nothing like that. It is simply a way that professionals that are licensed to do this can go in and help you manage your money. Now, you want to know what I think as a postal retiree, a FERS retiree? I get a pension from the FERS system every month. I relied on TSP as 1/3 of my retirement system. You want to know what I like the most about our Risk Guard process? The fact that you get communication from us every Monday. So when the market is doing its crazy whatever it does, you're not sitting back wondering. You're getting communication from us right in your inbox. To me, that is priceless. So the Risk Guard process utilizes 3 phases. The risk on is when, wow, those markets are sailing. We want to take full advantage of the gains that's available to us right inside of the TSP, whether that's the L funds, whether that is the C or S, or even the G fund, or whether that is the TSP mutual funds. We want to take full access to that. Risk on. Then things start getting a little more volatile. The VIX index. If you don't know what that is, that's something you ought to check out. It's a term that everybody that utilizes TSP should understand. It starts going up. We oftentimes will go to what we call risk watch. That means that we are actively watching what's going on and how it affects your TSP. And then if things deteriorate to the point that we need to go into that risk off status, we go to risk off. and it means exactly what the name implies. When it comes to your TSP, we do that right inside of the TSP. Now we're going to show you some things right on the screen that's going to help you. We're going to have some graphics that you're going to see. Now I want to remind you though, this document, let me show it to you, TSP Risk Guard Executive Summary is available on our website. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to get to that spot on our website. You go to www.febcnow.com. In the top right-hand side, you're going to see Resource Center. Click that tab. A drop-down comes down, and you're going to go to the Resource Center, and then you're going to scroll down to where you find the section about risk number. I'm going to talk about that next in the risk guard process. But on the website, go to where it says risk number, and you're going to hit click here. And a new screen will pop up, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom of that screen, and it's going to say TSP Risk Guard Executive Summary, and you're going to click where it says click here. And you can actually download this executive summary for yourself instantaneously right there by accessing our website. You don't get any better than that. You're not having to call us. You don't have to talk to me on the phone. You get this in your hands. Okay, now back to the TSP Risk Guard process. The first process that we take with you, I've already talked about risk on, risk watch, and risk off. We match up the TSP Risk Guard process with your own very own risk number. That risk number is how adverse to risk do you happen to be in your own personal philosophy in managing your money, in managing your funds, in managing your portfolio. So we would actually have you click on that link on the website and take the assessment on the risk number. It's about 11 questions. It's going to take you about 5 minutes to answer that question. Just do it. I mean, it's fun. What's it hurt? It's kind of like the TSP calculator that's on our website. We have a free calculator that lets you input, well, what's going to happen in 5 years if I bump up my 10% contributions to 15% contributions. Over a period of 5 years invested in these funds, I'm at 100,000 now, and if I bump it up 5% and I spread it out among these funds, in 5 years, I might have 162,000. I mean, it'll calculate those numbers for you. It'll give you a projection. It is the best thing since sliced bread. You just be careful. Don't do it at work. And don't do it on your lunch hour because it'll make you late because you'll get so absorbed in doing that calculator, you'll forget what time it is. I'm just telling you. So I'm talking about the risk number. Go to the website, fill out the risk number. That's step one in our risk guard process because we want to make sure that anything that's happening with your TSP matches your own philosophy about risk. So that's step number one. And then there's just all kinds of information in this executive summary that will explain the whole risk guard process. One of the things that I love, as you'll see on your screen, is one of the most topsy-turvy times we've experienced in a while was during 2020 when the pandemic hit. I mean, in a very short period of time, we broke records. We broke records of the fastest decline in the market and the fastest return in the market. Well, if that caught you unaware, without any skill set as to how to protect yourself during the downturn, you might have experienced the negative 30.64% decline that happened in that downturn. That's a potential of what might have happened. But you know what? The folks that was covered by Risk Guard, the TSP Risk Guard process, instead, the triggers happened. The algorithms did their job, and as the downturn started, not before the downturn started, but as the downturn started, there was a period of time we went to risk watch and then immediately went to risk off. And then the $1 million question is that once you're in risk off, when do you go back to risk on, right? I mean, when do we know to get back into those funds that'll help us take full advantage of the upturn when it's happening, right? That's what TSP Risk Guard does. Now, I'm just talking in layman's terms. I mean, I'm a FERS retiree sitting here talking to you about a process in the terms in which I understand and can apply to my own situation. But the cool part is that the folks that was covered by TSP Risk Guard during those extreme conditions when the pandemic had hit in 2020, instead of a 34.64% downturn, they only experienced a 14.39% downturn because they knew exactly when to get back into the market based on algorithms and the TSP Risk Guard process. It's an amazing process, I'll tell you. It's an amazing process. But hey, you know what? I just barely gave you a brief overview of what that is. Check it out yourself. Read about it yourself. It's free right off of our website, www.febcnow.com. Now, there's going to be a link available in the description that will take you directly to that executive summary. Don't forget that on the website are the 6 keys to understanding the new TSP mutual fund window. I know, the markets have been crazy. This is probably one of the most underutilized things that's happening right now with TSP. I mean, for crying out loud, we spent almost a year just everybody trying to get access back to their new My account, right? But guess what? This may be the exact time you really need to start thinking and preparing yourself and educating yourself about that new mutual fund window. And don't forget the TSP Millionaire. I really wish that I had the ability, I guess I do. It's free on our website to get one of these in the hands of every federal and every postal employee out there. And if you're retired and you still have TSP, why not get a book that will educate you on a lot of things that still impacts your TSP account? Education's never a bad thing, and that's what this is all about. So, with that, if you've got questions about your TSP, if you've got questions about the Risk Guard, if you've got questions about the mutual fund window, contact us. You can contact us by sending me an email at elizabeth@febcnow.com or Brian, my son, our vice president, Bryan, at febcnow.com. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Don't forget our national podcast that's going on. That's what we're doing today is filming the podcast. And you can subscribe to that podcast and all of our upcoming webinars. We have webinars going every single month, and we rotate the topics of those webinars. Hey, do you have a webinar you'd love to see? You want us to explain a topic about your benefits? You want us to explain a topic about retirement or leading up to retirement? Send me an email. I'd love to hear what's on your mind and what you feel like you need more information about. We'll gear these individually to what you need if you'll just let us know. And the best part, you can tell all your friends, because that's the number one source we have for retirement is, hey, Joe, what are you doing to get ready to retire? Sally, you retired 6 months ago. What did you do on page 64 of the Blue Book? Hey, I mean, you know what I mean? That's not the best place to go for retirement advice. Joe's situation's not your situation. Sally's information is not your information. You need to have your very own strategic federal retirement plan. We'll help you fill out a 17-point assessment for your federal retirement plan. We're here to help, and it is free of charge. I get so tickled at the comments that sometimes get posted on our videos talking about what do we charge and how we're a scam because we're just out to get your money. We don't charge for the consulting services. It's because I bleed postal blue. I retired from the federal government, and how I wish I had somebody that genuinely cared, that would sit down with me, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, whether it's on the phone, a Zoom meeting, or in person, and just answer my questions. Well, you have that opportunity now. Just get a hold of us. I'm happy to talk to you. In fact, I love sitting down and talking to federal and postal employees. How about if you and I have that conversation?